Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It's Monday, Afternoons with Amanda. It is so good to have you here. As I just pull up this live, go ahead and when you get on, please say hi to me. Let me know that you're here. Let me know if you're watching live or you're watching on replay. Awesome. Okay. Hi. You may need to give Ecamm permission for me to be able to see your questions or your posts. So if you need to do that, it should be right there by the live video. Hi, everyone. Hi from Florida. Okay, yeah, give me some hearts. Give me some fires. I love those things. Help keep me engaged and help you excited to learn. All right, I'm going to get to our page here. Sorry, I didn't have this already set up. I just kind of was behind a little bit. Okay, here we go. Awesome. I'm going to look at these comments so I know who's talking to me. I see people saying hi. Okay, so let's see who is here. Hi, Jen. You're always first on my lives. I love it. Love it. Hello, Trace. I still have to catch up on a couple days from last week. That's okay. That's okay. Hi, Kristen from Florida. We're really close. Live. Heather. Hi, Heather. It's nice to see you. And Sandra from Indiana and Maria. I don't see anything. Well, maybe you could click on the screen where I'm supposed to have my live because it should already be a post. Maria, why don't you try that? Or maybe refresh, see if I come up then. Hey, Liz and Rayanne here from California. Cool. Okay, so make sure you give me lots of hearts and lots of fires. I love fires. They help keep me, energized and awesome. Nayeli. Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't say your name right. Nayeli De La Rosa? Tell me how to say your name. Carla, Christine. Hi, Christine. It's so good to see you. Valerie, awesome. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited to share the ABCs of relationship and behavior transformation because this is really, really foundational to everything that I teach here in the group as well as in my workshop and in my program. So this is super key for any family or any mama who wants to help their kids who are struggling. It's super important to have this basis of knowledge and knowing that everything that I teach you, everything that I show you and explain is super important that we follow these ABCs, okay? They're a principle that is enduring. Like it's a principle that will always work, that always has worked. We're not necessarily really good at it sometimes, but I'm going to show you how to do that and how to start practicing and getting really good at it. Okay. I was watching the countdown, had to close it and reopen it to be able to see and hear. Great. Yes. Got to refresh, right? Hello from Ohio. I'm excited. My first time watching a live in the group. Yes. So good to have you. So many new people have come in the group this last week. Jen and Christine, you can attest to this. Lots and lots of new people. So we're so excited to have you. So excited to grow our tribe and to get ready for our workshop that starts on Monday. And last time I did the workshop, it was only 5 days. This time I'm doing it a full 10 days and sprinkling question and answers throughout the week as well as live coaching. And so there's actually more time to let the information that I teach digest and for you to be able to apply it with your own kids and in your own family because, we can get stuck in constant learning mode and we have a hard time applying it. And then once we apply it, we might have questions or maybe we run up into a hiccup or maybe our kids aren't interested in what we're offering and talking to them about. So you can come back. I'll have a live on Monday. The next day will be a question and answer. You can come and ask any questions you want, and I will do my best to answer those and help you with where you are in your family and in your journey. And so that's going to be exciting. Tonight, I will actually release the schedule that will start next Monday. So you can see which days I'm doing my live classes on, which day are the question and answers, and when the live coaching is. Now, the live coaching is actually for me to kind of life coach you as a mother. So we'll talk about your situation, but then I will talk with you and help you work through whatever it is that's holding you back from applying the principles that I'm going to teach you in the workshop. Because here's the linchpin. We as mothers, we are the linchpin to all of this, right? We love our kids. We care about the situation we're in. We might be teachers in a classroom. We might be therapists, right? We work with kids, and uniquely wired kids need unique parenting style. And what I know about this is that my hardest kids that I've had, so I have 6, my hardest kids have taught me the most. They have made me become more human than any of my others. They've taught me more patience and kindness and connection and goodness because of the struggle, right? We know that when we go through struggle and we work through it and we grow and we stretch, that we become better people. Thank you for all those hearts. Thank you, right? And so we become new people. So here's my main belief is I believe that God sent kids to us in our lives, perfectly timed for us to grow and for them to grow, okay? So I don't think there's any accidents who we have in our lives and who we don't. And I think your kids aren't broken, and I don't think you've messed up or screwed up or there's something wrong with you. I think you care. That's why you've showed up, right? So you have everything within you to be able to help your situation, whether you're struggling in crisis mode, working with a whole classroom of kids that are uniquely wired or differently wired. You can help them, and it's going to start with you. Okay, so let's get into this. Let me just double check. See if anybody else has hopped on. Hi, Alana. Yes, and Tammy, Martha, hi. So excited for this information. So excited to be here too. Liz and Kara, so cool. First time is get ready to become addicted to Coach Amanda. Oh, you are so sweet, Christina. Christine, why did I call you Christina? Thank you, that's so sweet. Sondos, it's good to meet you and see you too. Katie, awesome. Okay, so let's get into this, right? What we know about life is the answers to everything are usually really simple. They're not complicated. They're not like way out there ideas. They're simple, but they're not easy, right? They're not easy. Growth is not easy, right? Being a parent to a child who struggles, being a parent to any child is hard, right? So what I want to invite you to do today is to just kind of take a second, and before you say, oh, I've heard this before, or oh, I already know this stuff, I want you to just kind of push pause for a minute and just be open. Give a little bit of space to what I'm going to say today and see if there isn't a new connection that you can make that can help you to apply these ABCs. And I'm going to shut my door. Hold on. I have a sick little 7-year-old on the couch, so I don't want you guys to hear her coughing. Okay, so the ABCs, all right? So let me get out my thing here. We know when we're going to learn how to read, right? We know that we're learning anything. We need to know the foundation of anything, okay? So that's what I'm saying about my workshop, and everything that I do is based on these ABCs, and I'm going to write them in for you, okay? It's called awareness, okay, so what's awareness, right? Awareness. Does anybody have a good definition of awareness? I'd love to hear it. Yeah, even if we've heard it or know it, sometimes we need the reminder. Okay, so does anybody have a answer for what awareness is? I would love to know how you see this or how you use this in your life. So let me hear from you guys. Awareness. What does that mean to you? Now, here's the thing. I'm just not here to just talk at you. I actually do really, really way better and groups of live people because I can see their eyeballs and I can feel their hearts and I can sense what's going on in the room. So that's why I invite you to participate. What does it mean? What does awareness mean to you? Consciously knowing what we know. Understanding where you are in a given situation. Awesome. Seeing beyond the surface. Oh, I love all of those. Those are wonderful. Okay, so thank you for those. Those are all perfect descriptions of that. So my definition of awareness is to be in the present moment, fully awake, fully present to what you're seeing, feeling, hearing, smelling. It's connected to all the sensory systems that we have. And being able to be in that pocket, in that space where we're not in the past and we're not in the future, right? We're not fretting about what happened in the past, right? Worrying and mulling over it. And we're not in the fear of the future. We're like in the now. That to me is awareness. And so when we are able to be in any situation, no matter how horrific it is, as we learn to get to a place of awareness where we're actually present and we're not off in our own thoughts and thinking or fears, from this point, possibilities absolutely change and your eyes will see other opportunities. Okay, so when we're talking about working with our kids, if we're trying to overcome challenges, maybe we want to stop screaming and yelling. Maybe we want our kids to do what we ask, right? Maybe we want our relationship with our partner to be better, right? Maybe we want to take time for ourselves so that we're not constantly on survival mode. The place of change is happening in that moment of awareness, okay? Now, as human beings, we have to do life, and so we go into, life mode, and we don't think about it all the time. But we will learn that as we have overwhelming feelings, maybe our body starts to hurt, maybe we feel out of control or we feel confused, that's an invitation to become aware, okay? So that's our first one, awareness. Based. We'll do our last one too. Keep them all color coordinated. Change. Okay, if we want anything to change in the long term, like for real, we have to have awareness connected to it. And so what I do in my program is we practice this awareness-based change so that we as moms can be calm and in control, so that we can help discover what's really going on with our kids, so we know how to connect with our kids so that we can influence them and help them be empowered to get through a stressful situation, to get through a time where they don't know what's going on and maybe they're out of control and they don't know why they are, to help them get through any of their challenges and to eventually help them be capable of solving their own problems, right? Of navigating stress and figuring out how to recover from it, okay? So this is exciting because for me, this to me is really, really exciting because I know that to be able to influence my own home, I have to look at myself first, right? I have to put my oxygen mask on first. And then once I've got myself steady, then I can look around and go, okay, what is my next right step? What's the next thing that I need to do to help things go right? And the quickest way to get there with the least amount of trauma and drama is to practice awareness-based change. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying here. Living in the moment. Okay, let's go back up here. Cool. Knowing. Hi, Mercy. Nice to see you. Awareness is being in tune with the world around you, being able to pick up on subtle cues. Absolutely. Okay? That's going to be key with working with our kids is subtle clues. Okay? Living in the moment. Hi, Becky. Hi, Melissa. So good to see you. Love my earrings. Hey, you inspired me. I thought if people only see me from the waist up, I've got to have cute earrings on. And yes, put on the oxygen mask first. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So again, this is foundational to what we're going to be doing in the workshop. The more that you get good at being in the moment, being aware of what's going on, the quicker the change will happen in your family. Okay. The quicker you will find a resolution to the problems that brought you to this group in the first place. Okay. So that's to give you hope. The other side of this is recognizing if I don't get my crap together, right? It's like partly it's my fault, right? Like if I don't get stuff together, then I'm not able to help my family. So it's super inspiring to realize, oh my gosh, if I change myself, then I can move forward and help shift my family, can help my kids thrive. I can have peace in the home again. I can be happy to wake up in the morning and not want to just put the covers over my head and not look at anybody, right? And that's exciting to know that you have that kind of power. But when we're feeling down, when we're feeling like it's almost too big, it's actually kind of overwhelming to think, oh my gosh, this is up to me. This is pivotal on me, right? Well, just like as a mom, we have to feed our kids. Like if we didn't feed our kids obviously wouldn't thrive. There's so many things that we do because we know in our hearts we're moms and we're going to do those things, okay? I'm going to teach you some other things in our workshop that will help deepen the relationship and the communication so that you don't have to feel like your hair's on fire all the time, right? So you can take 5 minutes to yourself so that you can recuperate and you can help your kids because it's not going to change overnight, right? I'm not here to give you like these tips and tricks and it's over. No, this is a journey. It's always been a journey from the moment you got that baby in your arms or you adopted them or you started working with them in that classroom for this year, right? It's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. But what I can tell you is that the amount of suffering that you as a mom will experience will go down dramatically as you practice these ABCs. Okay? So we don't want to just change things. We want to be aware of how we're changing things so that it's going to help long term. Okay? All right. So as we do these things, right, we have different activities to help us get into that present moment. It will improve our relationships. It will improve behavior. And as these things improve, as these get really, really good, it literally transforms the way that our family interacts, right? So how many people want to improve their relationships and the behavior of their kids? I want to see you raise your hand, say, it's me, totally. I want to improve my family. Let me hear you guys. With everything going on right now, this is what we all need to be aware of. Oh my goodness. Yes, Sandra. Absolutely. Listen, and if you've been in my group for a little while, I talk about this. I talk about that there's no accidents, that we are all in our homes with our kids, homeschooling, like people who never thought they would homeschool are in their homes trying to figure this out, right? And they're going, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And the reality of where their relationship is with their kids and their family is become very, very apparent very quickly. So this is a perfect time to start practicing this awareness-based change. It makes change so much more enjoyable. It makes it far more long-lasting, right? And it's transformational. Like you become a different person and you start seeing other people differently. Like, do you have a relationship with your kids that you almost are like, I don't want to be around them, right? Or they're just so overwhelming and they're not fun to be around. And you're like, I don't even know how to talk to them. I don't even know how to interact with them. Well, I've got a teenager that is my uniquely wired child and she's 14. So all I have to say is a 14-year-old girl, okay? And all you all that have teenagers know what I'm talking about. Because I have 6 kids. My oldest is 24. My youngest is 7. And so I know that I have created some patterns with my 14-year-old daughter that are different than all my other kids because she's always been so hard. Like from the time she started running at 9 months, like literally, I feel like I'm an anxious mess all the time. And she was number 4. So I already had 3 kids. And you add this one on, I was like over the top crazy. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit more in a second. Let me see. Everyone is watching. Totally me. Marissa says me. Katie says thumbs up. Martha says me. Trace raising her hand. Liz raising her hand. Stephanie, awesome. Valerie, Elaine, and Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer. Make sure you guys tell me if you're watching live or if you're watching on a replay so I know when you guys are seeing this. Okay, so I've just been talking about the foundational principle of what I do here in Whole Brain Connections. And it's about awareness-based change and the ability for you to transform how your family functions into really the family of your dreams, the family that you desired to have in the beginning, the things that fill your soul, right? And maybe you're not the parent you wanted to be right now, right? Maybe we're not in a situation that's super easy to be the parent that you want to be, but that's okay. Once we become aware of where we're at, we become clear about where we're at, now we can know where we want to go and we can know our next right step. Not all the next right steps, just the next right step for you. Okay. Hi, Tammy, Marissa. Awesome. Okay, so I uploaded for you. I uploaded for you a PDF that you guys can do a little, it's called Mindfulness Attention Awareness Scale. So you can download that and fill it out. So what that basically is one of the most popular ways to become aware and to practice awareness is through mindfulness. And I'm sure most of you all know what mindfulness is, right? It's the ability to pay attention to the present moment with kindness, with joy, and with respect, right? So that you can be in that moment no matter what you're feeling, no matter what's going on. If you can create space to show respect to what's going on to yourself, and kindness, that kind of awareness is going to basically create a space that your brain can function at a higher level, right? So my original company is Whole Brain Gem, and the techniques and the things that I teach you about is how to connect all the different parts of your brains, either for learning, for focus, for behavior, for creativity, for productivity. When we're able to connect more connections in our brain, make more neural pathways that are efficient, if we're able to help our kids get out of that lower brain where they're in fight or flight, we can help things get better. And one of the greatest ways to do that is through mindfulness. So take a minute to print this out, okay? And it just has a few questions on here. I don't know, maybe there's 15 questions. And here's just a couple of them. I could be experiencing some emotion and not be conscious of it until sometime later. Okay. And then along the top it says, almost always, very frequently, somewhat infrequently, very infrequently, and almost never. So this is self-explanatory. Okay. Hey, my earring fell out. My cute earring fell out. Okay. So this is pretty self-explanatory, so don't think too hard about it, but it's going to give you an idea of, oh, I don't really notice when I'm upset until later when my back hurts really bad, right? I know every emotion I'm having, like all the time. I'm a super emotional person. So take that, and that could give you some insight of kind of your awareness of your feelings and what's going on in the moment. And that'll be super helpful for you. And then let me know what you think after you fill it out. You can let me know in the comments of the group what you think. Okay, so let's see. Live watching, live. Awesome. Okay, so how many of you already, number one, already have a practice of mindfulness? Tell me in the comments if you have any type of mindfulness. That could be yoga. That could be mindful walking. That could be meditation. It could be just present moment awareness practicing. Who is watching today that already has a mindfulness practice? I'd like to know, see where we're starting from. Does anybody in the group actually teach mindfulness classes? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, I'm just waiting to see. Deep breathing. Awesome. I'm a metacognitive thinker for sure. I think about what I think about. Yeah, I know. I have to say that that's probably a little bit me too. Gratefulness journal. That's a wonderful way to come to awareness. I do nothing mindfully. Laughing. Tammy, that's funny. Okay, Tammy, that's cool. Okay, so some of you have a practice. Okay, so I want to explain this to you just a little bit. And I love this analogy and why mindfulness can really be helpful. And then I'm going to just give you a couple examples of how to do some training. I want you to imagine you live in I've shared this story, so if you've heard it before, I'm making it a little bit better every time. So let's imagine you live in a studio apartment, okay? Everything's in one big room, right? And I want you to imagine what it would feel like and look like if that studio apartment was filled with enough furniture to fill a 3-bedroom home. I want you to imagine the couches and the beds, the bed stands and the fridge and the table. I want you to imagine all the furniture that it would take to fill a nice sized 3-bedroom house, all crammed inside of a studio apartment. What would that feel like? I'd like to know, as you're imagining this, what is your reaction to that? What if you lived in a place like that? How would that feel? So let me know. Okay, I try to do deep breathing every day. So good. So good. It's so simple, right? And it's easy to be like, this isn't doing anything, or I'm too busy to breathe. Well, we're not. We're always breathing. But to breathe with awareness makes a huge difference. Yeah. Christine, I uploaded it. If you click on the files if you're on a phone, then right below the banner of the group are some little gray buttons, and there'll be a file button if you kind of just scroll over. If you're on your computer, it's going to be on the left-hand side of your computer. It'll say file. Click on that, and it'll be the latest upload, and you can find that there, Christine. Yes, I did have it on a separate post. Stephanie says I braid paracord keychains. That's really good. My daughter, my third daughter, she's 18. She is kind of obsessive about making friendship bracelets. Like every kind you could possibly think of. I should show you sometime. They're like ridiculously intricate. And she does that as a way of being mindful. My oldest, I have one boy and 5 girls, and my oldest boy is 24 and he rock climbs. And honestly, he's like, if I don't get on the rock at least 3 to 4 times a week, then I feel unsettled, because he's like, when I'm on the rock, I am in a mindful place. Like there's nowhere else, and there's nowhere else I should be, right? Because I'm climbing a mountain. And I thought that's so amazing, because all of us have different ways of connecting with that deeper part of us, with connecting with the moment, whether it's braiding something, whether it's going for a walk, if it's feeding the chickens. I had a friend that was her mindfulness training. She would go outside and she would feed the chickens, because she was in the moment and she was practicing being there in that moment, and not in the past with her thoughts, and not in the future with any fear. She was right there in the moment. So your practice can really be anything unique to you. I like that analogy. The walls would be caving in around me. So this is the, for those who are new, I asked everyone to think about if they lived in a studio apartment, but they had enough furniture that filled a 3-bedroom house. What would that feel like, right? Trapped in that room, overwhelmed. Yeah. I feel like when I'm on the rock as well. Mine is just a different rock. I like that, Jen. I know your illusion there. That's awesome. I'm trying to learn how to use a telescope. I want to know more about that, Sandra. What do you mean by that? Tasha says, I love reading and looking out the window when I wash the dishes. Oh, yeah. You know, I love to clean and organize because it makes me feel like there's order in my life. That's wonderful. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're thinking about this house, right? So I want you to imagine that one bedroom, that studio apartment filled with all that furniture is your brain. Your brain filled with all your thoughts about everything, about what happened last week, about what you're going to cook for dinner, about your child having another meltdown, about, wanting to get the laundry done, right? Or wanting to get your work done so you can help your child with their homeschool, right? Like if you're working from home, then you've got all that to juggle as well, right? You've got kids fighting with one another, maybe. You've got kids sassing you. All of that's crammed in your brain, okay? How do we sort through that? Like, what do we do to be able to deal with all of that? One of the things I've suggested in the past, and of course I'm sure you've all heard of it, and we've had some great suggestions on mindfulness, is number one, if you feel totally overwhelmed with what's swimming around in your brain, that you just take a minute, piece of paper and a pencil, and you just write it all out. Just everything you're thinking. Don't question it. Don't judge it. Don't think, oh, I shouldn't write that down. No, whatever comes up, you trust it, you write it down. The next thing, write it down, write it down, okay? Because that will help you get the stuff out, and then you can look at it from a different perspective. It doesn't mean you have to do all those things. It doesn't even mean that most of them are that important. But they're swimming around in your brain. And so you're taking a moment to go, okay, I'm overwhelmed. My brain is swimming. I'm going to dump it all on a piece of paper for right now, right? Just take a minute to do that. And when you do that, here's how I connect it to my story with the one-bedroom apartment. So when you put it on a piece of paper, you create some space between the thought and you. Instead of your thoughts being you, your thoughts are on this paper now, okay? And so I want you to imagine that each piece of furniture is a thought, is an expectation, is a meltdown, is another duty, is another expectation, is the fact that you didn't do any self-care today, right? Or that you feel bad about a conversation, or you wish that you were closer with someone in your life. Okay, all of those things are on a piece of paper. But if you can take those little pieces of furniture and imagine taking all that furniture and putting it into a huge open field. You think of the most beautiful open field you can. Maybe it's in the mountains next to a lake. Maybe it's on the side of the ocean. Maybe it is in the beautiful, not Mojave, because I grew up in the Mojave Desert, the Sonora Desert in spring. Okay, so think of all of those thoughts being put in a huge space, okay, all in this huge field. Now think about how much easier it is to see what was in the house when you've created all that space between the thoughts, right? So that you can walk around it and go, oh, wow, I didn't know that was such an old thought, or that was so, difficult, right? You create this space through awareness and mindfulness so that you can look at things from a different perspective, and you can consider if they're important still, and you can receive that inspiration on if there's something to do, right? So it's super important to create that space, and that's what mindful awareness does. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying here. Telescope, learning how to use a telescope to be in the moment of awareness of things around us. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great, Sandra. Maria says, trapped with no help, 3 kids, ADHD. That is a lot. That is a lot. Yeah. So good. We're gonna be in this together. You're not alone anymore, okay? Okay, Maria, you're not alone, because there's lots more people here that have kids with ADHD who are feeling trapped, and we're gonna learn together, and we're gonna help support each other so you don't have to keep feeling trapped. If you can honor feeling trapped and then give some space to that so that you can basically look at it from different perspectives, then you're going to see more options and you're going to see something new in that situation. You can. So I invite you to do that. I love a great brain dump. Yep. Yeah. So we've all heard about great brain dumps, right? But do we do them consistently? Or do we kind of go, I'm too busy, right? Or I shouldn't be worried about that. I'll just try to ignore it. Oh, yeah. See, Maria? Sandra's right there with you. Yeah, and we're all on here. We're all here looking for support and inspiration and ideas and really to remember. Okay, so as moms, we have an innate understanding, whether we think we're great moms or we don't, okay? But as anyone who takes on that mother role, as a teacher or a parent or a therapist, any of those, we have an innate ability to know the needs of our kids, all right? And we might not always address them the way that we want to. We may not be the parent that we want to be, and maybe that's why we're here, because we want to improve that. And I can guarantee that as you improve your awareness and your mindfulness, as we move into this workshop that starts next Monday, absolute transformation will happen in families. Transformational in your own life, in your own family, with your kids, with your ability to see the future differently and your possibilities. Okay? Awesome. So let me show you a little thing I have right here. All right. You see these two dots? Okay. These dots basically, this one is, I will say, this is all of our thinking. All right, so here's our thinking, and over here is basically our actions. We think something, we act. We think something, we act. Okay? So I'm going to make this go like this a little bit more. Thinking. Okay, so thinking, acting. Okay? So what happens is a lot of times, right, most of the time we're thinking about something to maybe solve it, and we act on that, right? Or sometimes we are doing something, right? Or something that we're doing doesn't go right, and we start having thoughts about it, okay? And sometimes we're not even aware that our thinking is creating this movement pattern. Thinking, acting, right? Now, as you can see, this level of space here for growth and understanding, right? So what I'm inviting you to do with mindfulness and awareness is to, from your thinking, go a little deeper, and then act from this deeper place, okay? And as you practice your thinking or what's going on, you're going to be able to go to an even deeper place of understanding and come back around, okay? So, and this is something that we'll go over more in the workshop, but here, here's your opportunity to let go for just a little bit. You let go of all the craziness that's going on. You take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe a half an hour if you're able to go on a walk. You let go of all that stuff swirling around so that you can get to a deeper place of stillness. It's another way to say awareness, understanding. So here's our thinking. We let go of what we think we've got to do, and we find this place of stillness or mindfulness, awareness. Okay? And then what happens is once we're here, and this takes practice, right? So you might only get this deep the first time, and then the next time you get down to this level, okay? Then what happens from this place of stillness, this is where we can see and we know our next step. Because now we're open, we have more space, and we're not overwhelmed with everything, that we can let what wants to come. This might be our next step. This might be a nap. This might be we want to go back and connect with our child. Maybe we want to read them a story, right? Maybe this is, I don't need to make a 5-course meal tonight. We're having cereal, right? So this practice of awareness is kind of this model that I'll go more into, is letting go of what's going on right now and getting to a place of stillness, mindfulness, awareness, and then allowing what wants to come next, right? What's the next step for us to do? So when we're in challenging places, as we all are, let me get a drink here. We're here to help our families. We're here to learn and grow. Some days we're just here to survive. And ultimately we want to be thriving, right? But some days we're just surviving. That's normal. You know, we all have these bad days. We all act the way we don't want to act sometimes. But the more that we can practice getting to this place of stillness, the more that our mind and our connections will be better, that we'll actually have less blinders on. So when we're in fight or flight, or we're in overwhelm, or in survival, we kind of have these blinders on, right? They'll say tunnel vision, or they'll say the blinders are on. The only thing that you're focused on is the thing that's driving you crazy, or the thing that you're super worried about. That might be your kid having a meltdown. That might be your husband because he's annoying again, right? That could be that the house is a total mess, or you can't get your work done for your job today, just whatever it is, right? But if you take a moment to step into awareness-based change, you can know your next right step. And what happens is you create space so that you can see all these other possibilities, okay, for you. And that's what I want for you through this practice. So let me see what you've said, and I will give you guys some ideas to get you started. Okay. Let me go back here. Okay, that is like the 5th time that has been brought up to me recently. I really need to take some time to do that. Yeah. Sandra says, Maria, you're not alone. Okay, we talked about that. India's watching, and she says, I have one who's said to be combined ADHD. I'm finding it hard to accept and deal with honestly. You're finding it hard to accept and deal with honestly. The fact that he has the ADHD, or that he got the diagnosis, India? Let me know if that's what you're talking about. Hi, Yvette. So we've been talking about the foundation to my workshop and to all my programs is that it's all based on awareness-based change. That's our ABCs. Okay? That this ABC, these awareness-based change actually transforms relationships and behavior. And it's a principle that is universal. Like, it's not something that's like, okay, it's fatty today, you know, it's cool today and we'll try it. No, awareness and mindfulness is a principle that endures and has always endured. Okay. Let's see. Maria, how do you deal with it? Tantrum, bad behaviors. I struggle with creativity and I love routine. Yes, I struggle with creativity, right? And you probably have a kid that's creative and they're not routine oriented, right? Of course we do. We have kids that are totally opposite from us. Okay, in the tantrum, we'll talk about this in the workshop. But as you practice being able to get into this place of stillness, calm, and control, then you're going to see the tantrum differently, and you're going to be able to connect and help your child not throw a tantrum in the future. It's not going to happen just overnight, but there will be significant changes as you become aware so that you can help your child with their tantrum, okay? If we're just trying to give you some strategy or tip to help your child, right? Do we want something that's going to work this week, or do we want something that's literally going to help you on the entire journey, right? That's going to help your kid be empowered eventually to do the things that are going to bring him happiness and success, right? We will talk about some strategies because there are strategies. You know, when you address the emotions of the child, which is the right side of their brain, you want to address and connect with what they're feeling and what's going on and let them be heard. Then you can actually connect the left side, which is where the solution is, which is the thing that they probably need to do next so that they don't lose it, okay? And that's connecting the brain in a different way. And so that's a strategy, right? But if you are not in a place of stillness and calm and connection, you're not going to be able to help your child walk through that, okay? So you want to be able to help model this to your child. Okay, so let's see. ODD. Yes. Even ODD. Like, there is nothing that you can't overcome, is all I have to say. Nothing that you, as the parent, as the caregiver of someone important in your life, there's nothing that you can't fix and help overcome. I absolutely guarantee that. You have to do hard work, and you have to grow as much as you want that child to grow. Okay? But it is possible. Absolutely. Okay. When is the workshop? It starts next Monday on the 13th, right here in the group. Okay, so make sure you keep giving me some hearts and some fires and letting me know that you get what I'm saying and you think that it's something that you can try and you can apply in your life. Let me know what you think. Christine says, you all need to get into the workshop for next week. Coach Amanda has so much knowledge. This isn't even the tip of the iceberg, but this is part of what opened my eyes to figure out how to change the way I continue to teach in my class. Absolutely. Yeah. So cool. So cool, Christine. You're doing great work. Great, great, great. Tasha says, I have one who gets so frustrated. Yes. And in the workshop, I'm going to show you how to figure out through awareness what's really going on, right? So if they're frustrated, you're saying they're thinking or doing something, they get frustrated and you get stuck in this loop, right? But if you stop and get more aware, you're going to be able to go at a deeper level and figure out where the frustration's coming from and how to help things go right, okay? Will the live feeds workshop and this video be available after they are over for later references? They're only going to be on here. Now this, like I do a live every single Monday and they're in the feed and I'm going to put them in the unit section. They're always here. For the actual workshop, it will be, all those videos will be up with all the worksheets and all the prompts and everything until the 24th of April. So it's like 2 full weeks. Okay, so you can have lots of time to go over those things. Thank you for asking that, Jessica. That was a great question. Yvette, I deal a lot with opposition. Everything I say or ask of him is a fight back. Plus, add in emotional outbursts, impulsiveness, bad self-talk. I'm exhausted. Yeah, that is exhausting. There's no way around that. When you're dealing with that with your child, it's exhausting, right? So we're going to talk about that. And the key, Yvette, is going to be you discovering and getting really good at being calm, in control, and connecting so that you can figure out what's really going on. Okay? All behavior is a communication. Our kids are communicating. They don't necessarily know how to use the words. Every single thing our kids do is a communication to us, okay? If it's words, maybe it's, they're yelling at you. But below that, there's something else, a need that's not being met, or a skill that they don't have that's frustrating them, right? Or they have a stressor in their life, that something they have to do or something they're expected to do or something that is just around them all the time might be creating a level of their anxiety and opposition and their tantrums. And so us as moms and teachers and therapists, we're looking for those solutions. We're looking for the deeper things that are going on so that we can help them. Kelly Garside, hi, Marcy. Awesome to know there is hope. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, the human spirit is so resilient. It is so amazing the things that people can go through. The abuse, the trauma, the fear, the wars, just everything that people can go through. And when you meet someone, you read a story about somebody who has been to hell and back, you'll know I get kind of emotional. But if you have read a story about someone who has been through hell and they make their way back into the light and they share their story, we're transformed. Like, we're never the same people again. We think, oh my gosh, if that person can do it, then I could do something hard, right? So we're being asked by the Creator, by the universe, by God, however it is that you see, by our deeper self, we're being called to be better and stronger and more wise. And we have all and everything that we need to do that. And I am here to point you in that direction because that's what I know. And I've been on my own journey and back. And that is my testimony. Like, it's true. No matter where you are, no matter what darkness you are in, there is a way out. I promise. Now, do you have to do the hard work? Do you have to become a new creature? Do you have to see with new and fresh eyes? Yes. Right? The person that went into the trauma is not the same person that comes out, right? You can read a book and be transformed by reading or watching a movie. You are never the same again, right? That's what this experience is as a mother and as a teacher. It's an invitation for you to be more than you ever thought you could be. And that's not to overwhelm you. That's to give you hope, okay? And your kids have that same potential. Those kids, and I believe this firmly, and here I am telling you all the things that are deep in my heart, that I believe every human being has a mission, has a deep, deep mission to help heal and serve the world. And that my job as a mom, as my job as another human being, is to share that message, is to remind you that those people, those little people in your life, they are going to change the world. So if we can figure out ourselves and we start helping figure out our lives, we can help them grow into these incredible human beings. So, okay, I got a little passionate there. So, all right. How many of you guys believe that? How many of you guys believe that you have a mission, that you have something special and unique that you bring to this world? How many of you believe that your child has that potential as well? Not just to grow up and get a job and, keep the laws, but something deeper and something greater. That's why all of this is worth it. All of this growth is worth it when you see what really is there for you to see. Okay, Rhonda's watching. Hi, Rhonda and Amanda. That's a great name. So true. Hi, Sabrina. It's good to see you. Absolutely never be the same after learning. Yeah, that's right. All right, so we're going to learn these principles and I'm going to help you take action. So I don't have a workshop just to fill your head full of information. Like, we've watched enough YouTube videos. We've read tons of parenting blogs and books and talked to friends. And we're like, listen, I need actionable things I can do so that it can make a difference in my family, right? Okay. I do. Yep. Absolutely never be the same. I do. We all have something special to bring, but discovering it is the process that we have to do. Yeah. And it can be painful. How many of you has experienced pain being a mother? Raise your hands, please. Like, not just in having the child, if you have your children, right? Or if you adopted them, however it is, have you been through pain with your children? Is there a certain level of pain and struggle that comes for you? Just raise your hand. Yes, Amanda. Okay, let's see what else you're saying. We have something. Hi. Christine says, I'm so amazed at how my outlook on my school year changed after meeting Amanda. I believe every child has potential to be a contributing person in this world. I'm trying to do my part. Now I'm learning to teach remotely. Ugh. Yeah, Christine's been pretty bummed because she's been learning all this stuff and she just wants to apply it right in the classroom. I'm tired of going in circles. Yeah. Okay, so the survival brain. I know I'm going long. I gotta plug my computer in. Hold on one sec. Oh, cool. Okay. Sorry, my computer was gonna die. Okay. The best kind of pain, right? That's right. Yep, feeling the pain. Yes, living our purpose is the goal. Absolutely. Yes, lots of emotional pain. Yes, ma'am. Me. Okay. All agreeing. I want to apply in my classroom and apply in my home as well. That's awesome. Lots of teachers in here. It's so good to have you because the power of a teacher is astronomical, right? Just like the power of a mother is the power of women on this earth for good that we can. Because when we raise kids that know who they are and we grow and we know who we are and we're warriors and we're strong and soft and kind and good, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yvette says, I feel like I'm feeling him as a single parent. I'm everything to him. And I need to get it right. I want a happy home for both of us. You can, Yvette. You can have the home you want. Okay? And I'm going to invite you to take some steps. And you're going to have monster thoughts coming up and things that are going to be limiting. And you need to jump in the group and say, okay, here's what's coming up for me. Like, I'm struggling with this on a personal level, or I'm struggling with my kid on this level, and we're here to help support you, okay? In this group, what I want you to understand is that we have a specific purpose, and the purpose is to help people know their next right step. It's not about just throwing a bunch of ideas and tactics and tips out there. I really, really want you to know that we are here for the deepest level of change, for connection and transformation, and so just be mindful of that. And I'll share a little bit more when we get into the workshop next week, kind of how we're gonna work all this. Let's see. I own a large Montessori preschool, and we are doing distance learning right now. I can't wait to share what I learn with my teachers. That's awesome, Tammy. Oh yeah, so good. Listen, kids these days more and more are struggling. There's far more uniquely wired kids than there ever has been before. And I could go on why I think that is, okay? And there's different reasons why. And for now, that's not important. But we need to approach our children's in a unique way, okay? And this is exciting. So it starts with you, okay? So let me give you a couple ideas on what you can do for mindfulness, okay? It can be any activity you want. The purpose of it is for you to come to the present moment. And one of the ways that you can do that is by noticing the senses that you are feeling. So there's a wonderful book out there called Come to Your Senses, and it's a way for you to become mindful. And this can be sitting in a chair, you could be taking a walk. For me, I just went in and I laid on my bed today, and as I was thinking about this class today, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed, honestly. Excited because there's so many new people, but overwhelmed, and I did that visualization of seeing all the things that I wanted to share with you in that big open field, so I didn't feel like it was crammed into that studio apartment, so that I didn't have the same amount of anxiety. I thought, okay, we're going to get through each piece, and this is going to go well. And so there's amazing visualizations, there's amazing mindfulness apps. And one of my favorites is called Insight Timer. So much visualization and mindfulness on that app. It's amazing, okay? All you need to do is to start out. Now, if you have time, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night is like what I like to do for meditation. But I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm saying 5 minutes a day of allowing yourself to be in the present moment. And when your mind wanders somewhere else, I want you to just gently and kindly bring it back to either your breath or what's going on around you. The idea is that you're going to create this strong foundation of being in the moment. Okay, when we're in the moment, this is actually the only place that life exists. It's right now. And so many of us aren't even aware of our life. We're just doing life, right? Or we're enduring a tantrum. But if we can practice just being in the present moment and be aware of our thoughts. You don't judge them, you just notice. And maybe you need to write them down. Maybe they just keep looping and you want to put it on that brain dump, okay? 5 minutes a day, that's it. Okay, and you can find tons of visualizations on that Insight Timer. There's lots of stuff on YouTube you can watch. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else. Tasha says, I'm a full-time homeschooling Mom, yes, I know. Homeschooling. Okay, so anybody have any questions? Because I'm just about to wrap up. It's 2:59. I've gone a lot longer than I expected. Okay, so awareness-based change. That is going to be the key to the success with your children, in your home, in your personal life, and in the future. So make sure that you find a way each day for a tiny bit of self-care, 5 minutes, to either go on a slow walk, noticing what you hear or what you see, what you smell. You can focus on your breathing, which is an excellent way to be in the present moment. So when your thoughts float away, you just invite them back. I've had a practice of laughter meditation. I did that for years, so you could laugh if you wanted to. A lot of times I just laugh at the situation because it's so overwhelming. So I'll just go and laugh for a few minutes, right? Maybe you want to do a little yoga. There's different ways to do that. The idea is to keep bringing yourself, your awareness to the present moment. And it's going to be probably a little challenging in the beginning. That's normal, right? Because it's something that your brain's not used to doing. But as you practice it, you will create those neural pathways and it'll be easier to get there. Okay, and you're getting a little bit of a jump start before we start the workshop next week. So you can be practicing this whole week and then we'll start the workshop and we'll start getting into how to actually work with your child and how to create systems and values and ways of being that you get to change your life and your family's life. So, okay. That is the end. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to answer them. Give me any more comments. Let me know that you're watching live or on replay. Give me some hearts. I love this fire emoji. And just let me know if these things connected with you, if they made sense to you, if you had any other questions. And then, again, starting Monday, we are starting our 10-day workshop, the Quiet the Chaos workshop. And I'm excited to be able to work with so many of you. There's more people joining every day. So again, bless you all today. You have what it takes to create the family that you truly desire. And I'm here to help you along the way. Okay, see you next week. Bye.